Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Now, we are looking for a way to sign Ivan Toney in January. Arsenal are trying a couple of combinations, a couple of options, and one of those options is a swap plus cash for a player. Now, it looks like Brentford are interested in a couple of Arsenal players, and that could be the moment. That could be the reason Arsenal are thinking about a swap plus cash as well for Ivan Toney. We have two players that Brentford are interested in. Number one is ESR and the other is Nketiah. In this video, we're going to explore all the options that Arsenal can use to sign Ivan Toney, but also, do I think a swap deal between ESR and Toney plus Nketiah plus cash is available in January? Are we being cheated if we get Eddie plus ESR plus cash plus and then we get Toney? Are we being cheated? Or is it actually a fair deal? So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. I want your thoughts in the comment box below. Do you think Eddie plus cash is enough to bring in Toney, or it should be ESR plus Nketiah plus cash for us to get Ivan Toney in January? We look desperate. We are desperate. I'm going to tell you this. All the reports I'm looking at, it shows that Arsenal are really concerned and worried. One, about the competition and the rivals that we have and how good they are, but also there is increasing belief in Mikel Arteta's side that there is something that is not clicking. There is a certain level of quality that we have not unlocked that maybe Arteta and the coaching team thought the team would unlock this season. And I agree with them. I kind of feel like we are not that bad, but there is something missing to this team. So if you agree with me, let's meet in the comment box below. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this video to 300 likes. Now, let us start off with the story, which is Arsenal are exploring a cash plus, a swap plus cash deal for Ivan Toney, including striker Eddie Nketiah. We know Eddie is untouchable. In January, there are a couple of clubs that actually want him, including Crystal Palace, who have brought in a couple of offers, but Arsenal have told them, listen, we can talk in the summer. In January, we are not really willing to sell Eddie Nketiah. I think another club is Brentford. They're interested. They have not come with any formal offers. They have not brought in any formal offers, but I think they're thinking about it in this way. If Arsenal really want to sell in January, we might as well go and try with Eddie Nketiah. Of course, a couple of other clubs, Brighton, were interested at the moment. I think Brighton are sorted with their striker, strike force at the moment. So I don't think they will be going for Eddie. So Arsenal might be thinking, because Brentford want Eddie Nketiah, because Brentford are interested in Eddie, how about a swap deal in January? It's a very, very wise move because you have what I want. I have what you want. How about we swap it out, and then one of us with more value can actually get, can get a couple of coins on top of their product. And for me, this is the easiest way for us to sign Ivan Toney. This is the most, viable way for us to sign Ivan Toney. I think Eddie's a good player, and mid-table clubs look at him as one player that they can actually sign and elevate their performances. And I don't think that is wrong at all. I don't think that is there is a mistake in thinking Eddie Nketiah would elevate Brentford. I don't think there is a mistake in thinking Eddie Nketiah would make Crystal Palace better, right? I'm just forgetting the other team that are really interested in his services now. It's West Ham, right? It's West Ham. David Moyes was planning on doing whatever he can to actually bring, Eddie Nketiah at the London Stadium. So they don't have a striker, West Ham, at the moment. They're playing without a 9. They would benefit. They would massively benefit from signing Eddie Nketiah. So the reason why Arsenal is saying that we're not selling Eddie is very clear. We are not sure whether we get a striker or not in January. So you cannot be the foolish dove that gives away whatever it has, in anticipation that you're going to double it or make it better. So Mikel is very, very wise, and I think Edu as well. They're doing a great job in terms of managing Arsenal transfers. We keep Eddie, until we get the 9 we want. When we get the 9 we want, when we get the striker we want, we can listen to offers, for Eddie Nketiah. We can now, start going, yeah, probably we can listen to you. How much do you have? 30? How about you make it 40? But before you get a striker, before you're sure Ivan Toney is coming, before you're sure Victor Osimhen is coming, before you're sure, Victor Gyökeres is coming, you cannot sign, Eddie Nketiah with another team. You can't give him away, right? So is a swap deal a good one? I think it is. It just depends on how much Brentford value Eddie Nketiah. And that is where the problem with swap deals always is. If they value him at around 30 million, and they want 100 million in Ivan Toney, do I think Eddie Nketiah plus a 70 million on Ivan Toney is fair? I actually do not think. I would be willing to get Eddie plus around 40 million to sign Ivan Toney, but I don't think Brentford are going to accept that. This is the reason. They know they can wait until the summer and get 100 million good money, clean cash from the sale of Ivan Toney. And with that 100 million, they're going to rebuild their squad. Something they wouldn't be able to do if you gave them 30 million plus Eddie Nketiah. And it would be a smart move, from Brentford. Smart move from Arsenal if we can get Eddie plus 30, take it the other way and get Toney. If Brentford sell Toney for 100 million, that is a smart move, right? Because then they can go, we have 100 million, just like, West Ham did. Now we can rebuild our squad. We can go out there and sign the likes of Evan Ferguson. We can go out there. Probably not Evan Ferguson. I'm overdoing it, right? But they can go and sign 2-3 midfielders, 1-2 strikers, and a proper centre-back. They can bring in 5 players with 100 million. So I don't think this is a deal that really works in favour of Brentford. For it to work in the favor of Brentford, it has to work against us. So we would have to have 35 million, actually, no, 75 million plus Eddie Nketiah offered to Brentford, and that is the only way this deal makes sense for them. I don't think that's a good deal. But it would help us get him in January. It would help us get a striker, a good striker, a better striker in January, because we can talk to Brentford. We will give you 70 million, but for now we will give you Eddie Nketiah. However, the other way it can actually work is if we can get Ivan Toney, and we offer Eddie Nketiah on loan. So there's no obligation to buy. There is no option to buy. It is not permanent. It's just a temporary loan deal. Right? Because Brentford are going to look at the market right now. All the strikers that are available, they cannot afford. And right now, they are in a crisis, like real crisis. They need a new player. They need new legs. And Ivan Toney is that new legs. And, of course, real quality. So, Ivan Toney, Eddie Nketiah swap plus cash for Ivan Toney is a good one, right? It's a good one that we can look at. But I don't think Brentford are going to be very keen on that. The other option is ESR plus cash to get Ivan Toney. Now, I don't know who's more valuable. Eddie Nketiah has been in action for quite some time without picking up injuries, without going a long time in the sick bay. ESR has spent a whole season without playing football, and even with him coming back, it just doesn't feel like the manager is really convinced about where he is right now. So that means that Eddie Nketiah might be more valuable than ESR at the moment, because his market value ESR has dropped a little bit. He's not playing football. He's not contributing to the team. He's not scoring goals. He's not assisting, in any way, shape or form. So we might be having an ESR whose market value is 40 million euros, right? And Brentford will give you 30 million, or we will value ESR at 30 million, and you'll give us an extra 70 million as well. I wouldn't take that deal. That is a deal I wouldn't accept, because for me, Emile Smith-Rowe, if you give him time, he gets to his peak, he plays his real football, he's worth 100 million euros. he's worth 100 million euros. And I know he might never get there. I know there's so many players ahead of him. There's so many players that are better than him right now at Arsenal. And there's so many players that have the manager's favor over Emil Smith-Rowe. But giving him to Brentford in a player plus cash deal, no. Hell no. And it's the same no I would say to Nketiah plus ESR plus cash to get Ivan Toney. It's disrespectful. It would be an over-exaggeration of what Ivan Toney is going to bring to this side. Now, don't get me wrong. Ivan Toney could win us the league. And many people don't actually believe in this. Many people don't actually believe this is true. But he could win us the league. He could come into this Arsenal side and he could make us a much better side. But do I think that is worth ESR plus Nketiah? No, I don't think it's worth, because Nketiah alone, if you sold him right now, he would be between 50 to 60 million. ESR 50 to 60 million. So that is your 100 million there from academy players, and that is going to be registered as 100% profit. And we are on the right hand side of FFP rules, right? We have just registered 100 million in terms of clear profit, right? We didn't buy from them. We didn't buy them from anywhere. They're right from the academy. So no, ESR plus cash for Toney, that one I'm hesitant. Nketiah plus cash for Toney, that one I'm absolutely locked in. I think it's a very, very good deal. So the other options Arsenal can explore, which are a little bit fishy. Number one, pay cash. Yeah, I think that is what Brentford want to hear in January. Someone willing to pay cash. Someone willing to tell Brentford, we have 100 million euros or pounds. Can you open the gate? Can you let the Rolls Royce out? And definitely they will let the Rolls Royce out, because cash is cash, man. Cash is cash. To a club like Brentford, to a club like Brighton, Fulham, cash is cash. The moment they listen to an offer that is undeniably good, an offer that is unfathomable, they will sell. And I'm afraid Chelsea might have that power. They might have that financial power to, blast Arsenal away, from existence in this deal. But of course, I don't think Arsenal are willing to spend 100 million in January. It would be crazy. There's so many other options we can go for. There's so many other deals we can do, right? One, Osimhen, 100 million in the summer. Two, Victor Boniface, around 70 million in the summer as well. So I don't think Arsenal are looking to spend 100 million cash on Ivan Toney in January. We like him. We want him. And that's why we're exploring deals to see if we can test the patience of Brentford. But at the moment, paying cash is coming too soon. Buy now and pay later. Will Brentford listen to this? That's another option. By the way, we've done it with David Raya. Bring him in, let him play football, then you can as well pay later. I think this is a very good strategy for a club like Arsenal. Why? We scout our players over an elongated period of time. We started talking about Ivan Toney in the summer of 2021. That is when we started talking about Ivan Toney. I think by then, Brentford was still in the championship, and he scored a couple of goals, like a huge number of goals, for them in the championship to be promoted. So that is, ever since then, Arsenal have kept in touch with the scouting system on Ivan Toney. The same with Douglas Luiz, the same with Pedro Neto, the same with Said Benrahma, the same with a couple of players that we've been looking at, over time. So I think when he comes in, Arsenal are sure he's the right player. He is the right profile. We've followed him for some time. We know he is right, so we can take the risk of we will pay later. Right, we will guarantee you later payments. That would be the same as a loan plus obligation. You bring him in, and then you guarantee Brentford, we will pay. Yeah, we will pay. It's not a bad deal at all. It's not a bad deal at all. The only scare that we have there is overpaying. Number one, and number two, this guy has not played football in 9 months. He can become a Calvert Dominic Lewin. Like, Dominic Lewin was flying, and all of a sudden, the guy is nowhere to be seen. He doesn't know where the back of the net is anymore. He's slow. He's no longer physical, and all that. The same thing with Raúl Jimenez at Fulham, right? They've just disappeared after that one injury or that one time where they've gone a couple of days, a couple of months without playing football. So we do have a couple of options, but they're a little bit risky. Which one is not risky is Nketiah plus cash. I think that one is an L you're willing to take. So the loan plus obligation, Brentford will be willing, I presume, but they will want good money, like real good money. Nketiah swap, yeah, that's a good one. Paying cash up front, that's a good one. ESR plus cash, I'm not, in agreement with that. And then probably buy now, pay later. That would work for us. So let me know, guys, in the comment box below. Ivan Toney deal seems very complicated. What would you do, right? What would you do? Because what I'll do, I don't know. I probably talk to Brentford and go with a loan plus obligation or an Nketiah swap. That is what I'll do. Oh, sell Nketiah in January to Crystal Palace. After agreeing a deal with Brentford, you sell him to Crystal Palace for 50 million, and then you can you can get that 50, place it onto the table for Brentford, and tell them more money will come in later installments. How about that? They might listen, right? They might just listen, because I'll be keeping you updated with whatever happens. Make sure you watch the latest episode of Courses Arsenal podcast on the podcast, because we've been talking about the striker problem and why goals are not going in at the moment for Arsenal. Will it get better? Do we need to drop Gabriel Martinelli? All in that episode. So if you've not watched it yet, make sure you do.